Hey, good morning. Today's lesson is on aquatic biomes. Did you enjoy our lesson yesterday on oceans and coral reefs? I hope you did. Today we're going to talk about freshwater biomes. So here's a picture of a pond with a water lily pad and a flower in bloom. What's really interesting about this particular plant, it has a long stem that anchors in the mud at the bottom of the pond. That gives it flexibility as the water moves on top of the surface of the pond. About 3/4 of the Earth is covered by water, but only a small part of that is fresh water. Most of the plants and animals that live in fresh water could not survive in salt water. Okay, I'm going to pause the video here for a minute so you can go get a pencil and activity manual page 108 for this lesson. Okay, hope you're back. As I teach this lesson, you can use page 108 to take notes. I've gotten you started here. You can see we have ponds, lakes, streams, and rivers as freshwater biomes. And you'll notice that these types of freshwater biomes are considered either standing water or moving water. We'll talk more about that in a few minutes. The freshwater region. Yesterday we talked about oceans or marine biomes that have 3% or more salinity in their water. Salinity means the percentage of salt or salt concentration. Freshwater biomes like ponds and lakes, streams and rivers, or wetlands have less than 1%. Now, we can classify freshwater biomes as either standing water or moving water. Here are two pictures. The one on the left is a pond and the one on the right is water, but they don't have any running water, just standing water. But if you take a look at this picture, this is a picture of a river. It's constantly moving. And the water from the river or a stream comes from rain, glaciers, groundwater, snow. But what keeps it moving is gravity. They're all moving down towards, the water from these biomes are moving down towards the ocean. Now here's a question for you. What's the name of the beginning of a river? It's that area that starts out as a little stream and then it gets wider. It starts moving slower and it gets warmer. The water gets warmer as it flows towards the ocean. Got any ideas? If you said headwater, you are correct. The end of the river is called the mouth. The end of the river is the area that dumps into or empties into the ocean. The next aquatic biome we're going to talk about is wetlands. Now, scientists don't always agree on whether a wetland is its own biome or part of another. That's because biomes do not have set boundaries. They often merge into each other. So one wetland biome can gradually turn into a different one, and that transition zone can happen in places such as grasslands, where grasslands meet a forest, or where water meets the land. You'll see here that marshes are the most common wetland. They have either freshwater or saltwater. They have grasses like reeds and cattails, and you'll see things like oysters and crabs and alligators and fish. Marshes usually do not have any trees, but swamps definitely do. Saltwater swamps have mangroves. These are found along the coastlines. In fact, the Florida Keys has some unbelievable mangroves that my family has taken their kayaks and actually paddled through the mangroves. Marsh vegetation is grasses, but swamp vegetation is trees like maple, willow, or even bald cypress trees. Now, marshes and swamps are considered to be transition zones, like I said before. So they can have salt water or fresh water or both. Our third type of wetland is called a bog. Now, bogs are different because they always have fresh water. They're found in cooler northern climates, and most of the water in bogs comes from rains. Sometimes you'll find a bog near a lake or a pond. or any other place where water can't drain very easily through the soil, because most of the water in bogs comes from precipitation, or what we call rain. Now, there's an interesting feature about bogs, and it's called peat. As the leaves and debris pack down in this wet, soggy land, and the decayed matter starts building up, it piles up into these dense layers. This picture here is from Ireland. These two gentlemen are cutting peat slabs out. In Ireland, they use those for heating houses. They'll put them into a fireplace and they'll actually be used as fuel or energy. Let's take a break for a minute from bogs and talk about something that is really dear to my heart, and that's the Everglades National Park. This is a very important park to the state of Florida. What type of biome do you think the Everglades National Park is? I hope you said a wetland biome. Florida is one of the largest biomes on the earth. It's wet and humid, has lots of plants and animal species, and it's a subtropical wetland. In fact, it spans 2 million miles across central and south Florida. Pretty impressive, huh? It has an amazing array of rare and endangered species like the Florida panther, the American crocodile, the manatee. If you visited Everglades National Park, here are two things you'll definitely be able to do if you go down there. There's lots of ranger-led talks on alligators and some of the other species you find. On the right-hand side, you see a naturalist volunteer. She's leading a hike or a walk through the forest, talking about some plant species. Lots and lots of interesting, fun things to do at our wonderful Everglades National Park. Okay. This gives us a great opportunity to talk about our responsibility to manage God's planet. What responsibility has God given people as we interact with nature? If we want to glorify God and act wisely and not misuse or waste what God's given us, think about some ways that you can demonstrate wise stewardship over nature. For example, one would be dispose of trash. How about not damaging plants when we go into parks and forests? A third thing might be planting plants that are seed-bearing for birds and animals to eat. Maybe you can think of some more. Okay, my friends, this is the end of our lesson today. Here's your to-do list. You just watched the lesson video today. I hope you used your classifying freshwater organizer to take some notes. You do not have to upload this to Homework Drop. This is for your notes only. The only thing you have to do is I'd like for you to pull out Activity Manual page 109, which is a fun aquatic biome crossword puzzle, and work on that. That's not due till Friday. If you get it done today, then you're welcome to go ahead and turn it in. That's all, my friends. I hope you have a wonderful Easter. Please know that I am going to be praying for you on Easter Sunday. God bless you and your families, and I will talk to you guys next week on Tuesday when we come back from Easter break.